Okay, it looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Okay, let's see if I can see the chat and the group. Welcome everybody. If you are listening right now live, then welcome. If you are watching this recorded, then welcome. I will be sharing two things today. And these two things are how to make your own tinctures, herbal tinctures, for liver support as well as eradicating parasites. And on the second part, I'm going to share with you guys about the guided detox program and more information about detoxification, okay, parasites and liver and so on. All right, so make sure that you take notes, you have pen and paper, and ask questions because I will be answering your questions. And if you watch this in replay, if you ask a question, just make sure that you tag me because if I see my name, that I will reply. If I don't see my name, it's kind of like hard. Okay, so let me know if you're here. Tell me where you guys coming from. And yes, I can see you. Hi guys. Okay, awesome, great. So let's start with this, how to make your own herbal tinctures. Okay, it's extremely important. By now you know that parasites and toxins are the main causes of diseases and illnesses. And in order to kill the parasites, you need some things. I don't believe in medication personally. If you guys want to use medication, that's for you. I'm not here to give you medical advice. Okay, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I just experiment on my own body. Plus, I have my detox program that I take people, and then we work together on detoxification with natural foods and herbs and natural methods. So one of the methods of dealing with parasites, eradicating parasites, is by using herbal tinctures. And this is the thing, I don't like to buy supplements unless necessary. Why? Because the supplements in the store may be toxic or they can be synthetic. And for me, it's important to use natural herbs and natural foods to cleanse my body. I believe in that. I don't know about you. I know that a lot of people just prefer to take a supplement or a pill, whatever, and then voila, they're gonna detox their body. It's not going to happen. I've done that for so many years and it doesn't happen. That's why we have a lot of issues, okay? So the idea here would be to use herbs. And the way I make my own herbs, I also post a link with a video. I share in that video how to make your own antiparasitic tinctures. So what we need for antiparasitic herbal tinctures, number one, or for herbal tinctures that support your liver. Okay, so we need number one, the herbs. And then the second, we are going to need some alcohol. And the higher the grade of alcohol, the more potent your tinctures are going to be. Now, why do you make your own tinctures? Number one, your tinctures, if you make them, they are more potent than the tinctures that you buy in the store. In other words, if you go to buy a tincture, because I used to buy my own tinctures in the store, if you buy your tinctures from the store, you will notice that they will say, okay, but use 15 drops 3 times a day. Okay, so a small bottle probably is going to last you for, I don't know, 4 days, a week, right? So you have to keep buying and buying and buying. And guess what? In order to eradicate parasites, you need to do the herbal tinctures or the protocols for at least 3 months. Okay, that's the way it works. And then after that, to maintain. So if you make your own tinctures, they're going to be very potent because you probably might need just one drop, okay? They're going to be very, very, very strong. And so the way I show you how to make your tinctures, it's going to last on the shelf for a long time. Plus, what's going to happen is going to save you a lot of money. So you don't have to buy all these tinctures a lot, okay? So why I'm making the tinctures? Because they're more potent. Number one. Second, they are going to save you a lot of money. Third, they will be lasting on the shelf for a long time. You don't have to depend on supplements. Plus, some of the supplements are synthetic and even toxic. Okay, so these are the reasons. It's very important. That's why I want you guys to really understand that making your own things are going to be so much powerful than depending on the stores. So okay, you make it one time, and again, mine probably I made them like 2 years ago. My husband and I are using them, and I still have a lot of them, more than a half. Okay, so it's going to last probably for 2 more years the way I am using them. So if you have questions, make sure that you write your questions. Okay, great. So we make the tinctures on a new moon, and it's going to, the entire process is going to last for about two weeks. So in other words, the tinctures are going to be ready in a couple of weeks on the full moon. This is the thing why I wanted to share this video with you today and why it's so important, because the next new moon is going to happen on November 13. So November 13, we're going to have a new moon in Scorpio. Very intense energy, and it's a great opportunity to make your tinctures then on the new moon. That's why I wanted to start making this video way before the new moon, because I want you guys to gather your herbs and gather your alcohol. You only need two things. Herbs, they gotta be organic, they have to be organic. And second, high grade alcohol. I used back then, I remember that I used Evergreen or something like that, which is very, very potent, very high grade of alcohol, like in the 90s. We are not, the higher the grade, the more the tinctures are going to be. Okay, the more potent the tinctures are going to be. So you have to use probably 1 drop, 2 drops, something like that. Okay, very important. By the way, if you have questions, make sure that you ask questions. All right. Right. So you will be having a video. I'm going to share underneath this video a link where you are going to see how I make my tinctures. Okay. So I share with you the alcohol is going to be very high grade alcohol, like in the 90s, Everclear, something like that. Grain alcohol is fine. And then the herbs that I want to share with you guys. So for the liver, this is the herbs that I use for liver. Number 1, milk thistle. It's very powerful. Milk thistle and dandelion are the most powerful and potent herbs for the liver. Then artichoke leaves. Artichoke leaves really, really good. Licorice and burdock. So these are the herbs for the liver. For parasites, in order to kill parasites, to eradicate parasites, I use the most potent herbs are the 3 herbs: black walnut hull, cloves, and wormwood. The bitter the herbs, the better it is for the parasites and also for the liver. For example, wormwood, it's not only great for parasites, but it's also great for the liver. So very, very important. Another herb that I use, the herbs that I also use for killing parasites, and also what I would like for you to do is to rotate them. That's how we kill parasites. We make sure that we rotate the herbs. Cayenne pepper, ginger, what else? Paw d'arco, thyme, rosemary, and sage, and even papaya seeds. For example, I would take some papaya seeds, I dry them, and then I make a tincture out of them. Okay, so we need herbs because herbs are very dense in nutrients. Okay, so that's why. And when we make these tinctures, what's happening when we combine the herbs with the alcohol is going to just suck the energy of the herb, and the energy, the life force of the herb is going to be there. So it's extremely powerful. Okay, so I want you to know that. Awesome. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay. All right. Next. Right. If you guys have questions, just make sure that you post your questions. So who's here in the group? Dawn and Constantine, hi guys. If you watch the replay, then make sure that you ask questions also in the replay and tag my name. It's important. I'll be taking some questions also. So herbs, where do I buy the herbs? Because you might ask the question, where do I buy the herbs? I go to health food stores and I buy organic herbs. Or I go online, and one store that I really like, it's the Mountain Rose Herb. I really like them. I use them for so many years. And actually, I talked to them the other day and asked them if in the chat, and asked them if they're humans, and they said, "Of course, we are human. We don't have robots and AI here to answer our questions." So yeah, it's important. So are you using all these items at once? No, good question, Dawn. Actually, I create my own tincture. So for example, you will have a video and I'm sharing you all the herbs. What do you need? You need some jars, like I use mason jars, like glass jars. And then you want to put, for example, let's say you use wormwood. You go to the store and you buy wormwood herb, right? And what I do, I would take, this is my cup, right? But you'll have a video, also watch the video. I'll take, for example, this amount, right, of herbs, the dry herbs. I'll put it on the mason jar, and then I take my alcohol and I pour the alcohol. So make sure just a little bit, like probably 1 inch or maybe even 2 inches above the herbs. So what you do, you make sure that you cover your jar, and then you leave it in a dark place. And what you want to do is just stir it every day, and then you leave it for a couple of weeks. And after a couple of weeks, what you want to do, you want to filter the herbs, and then voila, you have your own tincture, which is going to stay on a shelf for so many years, which is amazing. You save so much money. I love them. Plus, this is the thing, you create a synergy with the herb. When you do it with an immune, I don't know, probably some of you that are watching this video and even in replay know that I've been doing a lot of work with my intuition and spiritual work, and then even energy work, and I like to communicate with the plant when I do that, or pray over this entire process and pray during this process. It's not a long process, it's actually very short. Just make up, pray, use your intuition, meditate, and then work with the synergy of the plants. It's like, just a smile connected with the plant, because that, when you create that synergy with the plant, that plant and that tincture is really going to help you to heal and detox. This is how powerful it is, because we don't use the power of our minds. We don't use the power of our spirit. We just like create some things together. No. And one other thing that I really would like for you guys to do is, like, whatever herbs you are connecting with, then use that. For example, if I like connect with cloves, right? Cloves, which are, by the way, very potent in killing not only parasites, but parasite eggs as well. If you connect with cloves, that use that energy, if you have a connection with different herbs and different plants, that use that. And herbs are very potent. That's why they cannot be patented, right? That's why they cannot really create. I mean, hey, you have herbs, you have the alcohol, you create your own tinctures, bam. And tinctures are part of detoxification. They're very powerful. They're a powerful piece of a puzzle in getting rid of parasites, because after 2019, especially, even before, but after 2019, everybody's getting sick. Everyone is sick. And I believe, my strong belief is that we have parasites. We are bombarded by parasites. Actually, that's what happened in the health department. Somebody mentioned that we have more parasites in the United States. The population in the United States have more parasites than Africa. They said it. They admit it. This is crazy. So, and parasites are very intelligent. They're very smart, very cunning, and they develop a defense mechanism. They survive in your body. Basically, you die before the parasites die. I don't want to be like, scaring you or using fear, but that's what's happening. We really need to outsmart them, and we need to become more powerful than the parasites. Otherwise, they take over, and when they take over, we're screwed. And that's one side, the parasites. But the other side of the entire people being sick, tired, and so on, and cannot sleep at night, is because of the toxins. We have so many toxins from the air, right? And you know what I mean. The air, the water, and the food. We have so many toxins. It's just ridiculous. In 2008, we have 10 toxins per cell. 2008, 10 toxins per cell, which is, it's horrible. 10 toxins is horrible because the cell's supposed to be toxin free. In 2018, we have 500 toxins per cell. 500, 2018. We are in 2023. I don't know the number of toxins per cell. If you know, let me know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And what happened after 2019, the level of toxins and the parasites, it's ridiculous. It's insane. So what we want to do, we want to get rid of toxins. We want to get rid of parasites. And the ticket to health is by detoxing your body. And if you think that you are taking the magic pill and you detox your body and you get healthy, then wow, good luck to you. It's not going to happen, right? Detoxification requires you to be committed, to continue being in the detoxing, game, and to also have a community. It's so much easier to have a community. That's why I created this Facebook group, because by sharing the information, a lot of people actually get back to me and they say, really, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I've been doing this for so many years. This is not only my passion, but I'm obsessed about health and detoxification, because that's the ticket to health. If we detox the body, it's the ticket to our health. I have a program and I'm taking people on a guided detox program, and I share in week number 1 liver, just liver first, and then in week number 2 I'm sharing about parasites, because it's important to cleanse the liver before you even attempt parasites. A lot of you that know me, it looks like I sound like a broken record, but that's the way it is. And because I started with parasites first. I knew about parasites a long time ago, and I started with cleansing the parasites, and I was using the tinctures and everything and the coffee enema, but I was doing it wrong. I had a lot of parasites in my body because I had a lot of mercury toxicity. I had amalgam fillings in my mouth, and because of high levels of toxicity, of mercury toxicity, I had a lot of parasites in my body, because parasites and heavy metals are, connected. They're hand in hand. And so I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I did whatever I knew, the resources that I have in hand. And so I remember when was doing the first coffee enema, I was like bloated, like my stomach was so big, and I had cramps, and it was awful, and I didn't know what I was doing. I follow someone's book, but they say in the book to use like 3 tablespoons of coffee, and I use that. But I didn't know that I have to start slow. It's very small amounts. So I have to learn the wrong way, and I was afraid. Actually, because, my coffee enema at the beginning was a disaster, I quit for about 2 years. I quit because I knew that I had such a bad reaction to that coffee enema. I said, there is no way it's for me. But I have to start again and then kind of like work with my mind, because this is the thing. We have to work on the mind. If we don't have a strong mind, we cannot continue on with our detoxing. We cannot commit, right? We just like take few herbs, few pills, take the herbal tinctures, and then tomorrow we're not going to take it, and then you cannot detox. You cannot kill parasites. And guess what? Parasites keep growing and growing and growing and multiplying. If you have pets, you have parasites. Okay? And this is the thing. Most of the people have parasites unless you went through a very deep cleanse, and unless you do maintenance like once a month during the full moons. This is extremely important. Okay? So let's see a little bit of questions and then we move on. So yeah, Dawn was saying that if I'm using all this at once. No, I'm making like different tinctures. And what I do, for example, for 3 weeks, because the cycles of parasites are usually 2 to 3 weeks, right? So I'm going for 3 weeks on and 1 week off. And what I like to do, I make different tinctures, different herbs, different tinctures, and I combine them. I take a glass, I put some water, and for example, I use these 3 tinctures and then maybe use it for a week and then rotate them, keep rotating. Or you can go for 3 weeks with the same tinctures, take 1 week off, and then the next 3 weeks you rotate. Okay, so when you start with a detox program, you make sure that you start with your detox program for at least 3 months. And the way you do it is like 3 weeks off, 1 week on, or 2 weeks off, 1 week on. Okay, but the herbs, it's not enough. Okay, that's why you need to make sure that you do the enemas. You need to make sure that you change the enemas. You do coffee enemas, you do clay enemas, you do suppositories, because parasites, as I mentioned, they're very, very smart. And they get used to different herbs, they get used to different protocols, they get used to different methods of releasing them. So you have to keep them guessing all the time. You have to hit them from all angles. That's why I'm taking people on detox journeys and programs with me, because we are learning not only that, but I share so much information, and then you know what's working and what's not working. And if it doesn't work, you change your strategy. This is very important, very important. That's why a lot of people don't have success with detoxification, because they use the same thing. For example, one woman in my last detox programs was mentioning, Lily, my herbalist was telling me to take these herbs for 3 months, and I've been taking these particular herbs for 3 months, and nothing happened. And when she came into my first into my detox, and into my first week just detoxing the liver, she's my God, I have so many results. She said, Lily, I sleep better for the first time in 5 years. Why? Because she switched the things. This you have to shock the parasites. I know it's crazy, but for me it's like a game with them, and I like to, like, okay, what's next, and I've been cleansing like crazy. I remember at the beginning when I started my cleanse a couple of years ago, guys, I was angry. I was angry because I've seen so many things coming out of me, and they keep coming and coming. 1 week, second week, third week, first month, and they keep coming. And where is these nasty creatures are coming from, right? And I was angry. I was frustrated. I was obsessed. I was paranoid. I was washing my hands every 5 minutes. But that's not the thing. The thing is, like, we need to build a strong immune system. We need to build a good microbiome and get rid of these critters, because they poop inside of us. It's crazy. And then we have to detox not only for them, but for us and for them, right? So where are these toxins going first? Can you guess where the toxins are going first? In your liver. And when the liver is burdened, when the liver is toxic, what's happening with the toxins? The liver says, you know what, I can only do so much. I can detox so much, because liver is very smart. We are very smart. Our bodies are intelligent. We are amazing creatures. And when the liver gets toxic, what's happening? It sends the toxins in the brain, in the blood, in other organs, in the lungs. So we don't want that. We don't want to reabsorb the toxin, because they create even more havoc in the body. We want to make sure that the toxins are going outside of us. We are making sure that the parasites are leaving our body. And they might not leave in the first week or second week or third week, but they will start coming out, because you need to keep them guessing all the time. And you need to hit them from all angles, as I mentioned. This is very, very, very important, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about my program that starts on November 10th. And then, guys, send your questions, because I will be answering your questions, okay? November 10th, I start my guided detox program, where I take people and we go through the liver course first for 1 week. And then we move into a parasite course. And we will have also live classes like this, where we interact, to ask questions, and what's not working, we share information, and I will answer. So we talk about real foods to use for the liver and for parasites. We talk about herbs that use for the liver, for parasites. We talk about emotional issues, because this is the thing. For example, liver, if the liver is toxic, we hold a lot of emotions in the liver, like frustration and anger. And we want to make sure, and this is the thing, emotional healing, it's responsible for 50% of all healing. Emotional healing, it's responsible for 50% of all healing. For example, you do all the enemas, you take all the herbs, you take the binders, you take everything on the physical level, and if you do not address your emotional issues, it's very hard to heal. It's almost impossible to heal. That's why in the detox course in parasites, we talk about the emotional healing for the liver. In the parasites course, we talk about emotional trauma, and we talk about boundaries, because a lot of people, what I noticed in my courses, a lot of women that are very empathic, they don't have boundaries. They cannot say no to people. They cannot say no to energy vampires. So they end up with a lot of frequencies in the gut. And we are more vulnerable for growing and breeding parasites inside. I know it's a crazy concept, but I noticed that because I was one of them. And now I'm learning to have boundaries, not walls, boundaries. And when we have boundaries, the emotional energy, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Our gut is actually like a microcosm that is telling you what's going on outside of you, of your macrocosm. So it's very important to have boundaries, not only with people around you, but also with the critters inside you. So we teach that in the parasite module. This is very important. So we start the program on November 10th. However, if you are signing up until tomorrow evening, tomorrow midnight, you have a promotional code that's detox50 promotional code. Okay, so if you sign up until tomorrow evening. All right, let's go into the questions, and I will answer some questions. So let's start from the beginning. So Dawn, I think I mentioned to you how to use your herbs. Use them separately. If you want to combine them, then you can take the tinctures after the tinctures are ready, when the full moon, so you start on the new moon, they end on the full moon. So when you have your tinctures, you can combine them and take, tinctures. But I will like to have them separate because I want to rotate them, and I explain why I want to rotate them, okay? So Constantine is talking about sprouts. I'm not sure about what's the sprouts. Sprouts are good. By the way, for the liver, let me share this tip with you. Write it down. Broccoli sprouts, great for the liver. That's a great idea. It just got to me. I'm gonna buy the broccoli sprouts. I'm going to probably make a tincture of the broccoli sprouts because they're amazing for the liver. Okay. Nancy, I don't know what Nancy is asking. Dawn is saying, so you don't want to start on the liver now and then parasites on November 13. I'm not sure. So we don't want to start on the liver now and then parasites on November 13. Okay. New moon, it's on November 13. I want you guys to make your tinctures on November 13. Okay. And then wait 2 weeks. When the full moon it's forming, that's when your tinctures are ready and you start taking the tinctures. Okay. But I would like for you, so this is the thing, the entire thing, make your tinctures on the 13th, right? So you have your tinctures for next couple of years or 3 years or even 4 or 5 years. Make sure that you start making them on November 13th. It's a new moon in Scorpio. It's going to be intense, very powerful, very potent. I'm sharing this live with you because I want you to make sure that you have the herbs until the November 13th, right? Good. I hope I answered your question. Okay, can we just do the liver part for a longer period of time? Super sensitive. Yes, you can do the liver part for a period of time. For me, is what I do. I teach in my liver course. My liver course is for about a week, but I tell people, take their own time because they have access to the entire course for the entire program for 1 year. They can do it, on their own term. But what I want to do with people, I want to keep them engaged. So in the period of 3 weeks, they watch the courses because the course is already pre-recorded. They watch the courses and then they get engaged because remember, you have to be committed. I want people in my detox program to be focused, and by the end of 3 weeks, they know it all. It's like a boot camp, okay? Because this is the thing, if you keep postponing, you're never gonna do it. oh, I'm gonna do it next time. How many times you bought a course and then you never even open it? Sometimes some people don't even open the programs. It's crazy. That's why I'm doing the live classes, because I want you to be, I'm holding you accountable, and it's like a boot camp, right? Okay, guys, first live class is happening this time. Okay, question, answer, da, 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 da. It's important because you need to stay committed, you need to have continuity, and it's great to have community. That's what I teach in my course. That's why women in my course are so successful, because they're engaging in the group. I have a Facebook group specially for that, and women are just learning from each other, they're supporting each other. If some of them are like very down, because you know what, when you are detoxing, a lot of issues are surfacing, especially emotional issues are surfacing. And it's very important to know how to address them and heal them. Actually, I teach that in one of my modules. This is very powerful. And when I ask my participants what they like the emotional module the most. So that's why it's very important to start with the liver. In my liver program, I teach a soup, but I don't teach the soup. They don't have access to the soup unless they work with the mindset. We need to build strong mindset, and I keep like telling them mindset, and then we move into the soup. Why? Because they have to be able to do the soup for a longer period of time, and then they have the magical results. My husband did ask me a few days ago to do the soup. He is not like crazy about detoxing, but because I keep telling him herbs and enemas, and he's like, you know how men are, right? I'm sorry, women are more determined, right? It's very interesting because in my courses I only have women. I don't know why men are not like, right? Because probably the women are taking care of them. Anyways, so my husband asked me, because he had some itching all over his body, and he asked me, okay, can you do the soup for me? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. Are you going to do it? Yes. So I'm doing it with him. It's good to have that soup, but in order to do that, we have to have this mindset strong. Otherwise, the soup is not going to work. That's why I keep telling my women, ladies, you have to stay focused on this. And that's why I'm popping in and out and telling them, how is the detox going? How is this? And everybody's sharing. So it's very, very important. Yes, liver has to be cleansed before we cleanse parasites. We mentioned that it's extremely important. All right. So also, when you make these tinctures, make tinctures for the liver, because when you start with the liver, it's important to cleanse, to focus on the liver first. But then you have to keep maintaining detoxification of the liver and keep maintaining eradicating parasites, because parasites are everywhere. Unfortunately, we live in a toxic world. And we need to have a strong immune system, a strong microbiome, so we don't let the parasites invade us, because they create crazy illnesses and diseases in the body. And if you are not believing in that, then that's the way it is. I cannot force anybody to believe in that. I've seen them coming out. I've detoxed so many times. For a long period of time. I've seen them coming out. I couldn't sleep at night. I would wake up every single night, like between 1 and 3:30 in the morning. I sleep like a baby now. And women in my detox course, quite a few of them that couldn't sleep for many years, the same thing. They started in the first week to sleep for the first time in many years. So liver is number one priority. It's extremely, extremely important. All right, then parasites will interfere with this. If you have anxiety, I used to have panic attacks. I used to have heart palpitations. I had arrhythmia. I thought that I was going to end up like my mom. My mom passed away, and she had a lot of heart issues. She had so many heart attacks, a lot of like 5 or 6 heart attacks. And she was on medication. She was like, and my promise was like not to be like her. I thought that I had inherited her heart issues. But when I cleansed my parasites and liver first, arrhythmia gone. I thought that I was having heart attacks. Arrhythmia gone, heart palpitations gone, panic attacks gone, crazy. Depression gone. Why? Because I detox the body. It's very important. That's the way. Your ticket to health, it's knowing how to detox your body. Detoxing your body is not about taking the magic pill. It's never going to happen. Parasites are very cunning, very smart. You have to hit them from all angles, all directions. Okay, next questions. So I hope that I answer your question, Jamie. If you're super sensitive, then you can, of course, go through more weeks and start small, detoxing your liver small. But you have to keep going. It's very important to keep going because the liver, it's the main organ of detoxification, is the main organ that it's bringing energy in the body. It's got actually so many functions and they all run in parallel. For example, the liver is, helping to create bile. It absorbs nutrients in the body. If the parasites keep stealing your nutrients, the liver keep producing, but the liver will say, you know what, I'm sorry, but you know what, I cannot absorb the nutrients because the liver is toxic. So the liver will say, nope. So it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. Again, it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. And in order to absorb nutrients, you have to have a clean liver because you keep popping supplements and your liver cannot absorb the nutrients, the supplements, because they just, washed out. The idea is cleanse your liver and you don't need so many supplements. You won't need so many herbs. Cleanse your liver, eat real foods, and you don't need so many supplements. A lot of supplements, they're just coming out with, I watched some conferences and people already talking about supplements being toxic. Some of the supplements are actually toxic and synthetic. So you gotta be very careful. That's why you guys have to do your own research. Eat real foods, make your own tinctures, use coffee enemas, make sure that you buy the organic coffee for the enemas, make your suppositories, and all these things. Like the more natural and going to the basics you are, the faster and longer the detoxification, the faster you detox and the healthier you are, right? So that's my thing. It's like, for me, I don't want to like take the pills and medication and then, because they're very toxic. Medication is very toxic, very acidic. So use natural stuff, very important. Okay, so I hope I answered that. Dawn is saying she thinks she's allergic to charcoal. What can I use to replace that? You are allergic to charcoal because your liver is toxic. Or do two things. You can be, either your charcoal is toxic, which I don't believe that, because charcoal, it's one of the most potent did I say binder? What did I just say? Binder, sorry. Binder. Okay. Charcoal is the most potent binder that exists. If you are toxic to that, because this is the thing, the binder, the charcoal, activated charcoal, is going to mop out all the toxins in the body, but also the good bacteria and the nutrients. That's why activated charcoal, it's great, but use it very rarely. I would use it when you do coffee enema. Or if you feel like really toxic, I would use it. Other than that, the binders that I recommend are zeolite, bentonite clays in general. So try with that. For example, I was very toxic. I was responding negatively to zeolite and to chlorella, those two things, when I had heavy metals toxicity in my body. I detoxed my liver, I got rid of parasites, no more toxicity, no more reaction to zeolite or chlorella. Okay? Now, when I got rid of parasites, I got rid of heavy metals also. Because what's going on with parasites? Parasites are the largest organisms and they create a layer of protection, which is called biofilm around them. And in that layer of protection, their house, their home, they cover themselves with that. And in that layer of biofilm, these parasites, they harbor mold, bad bacteria, viruses, toxins like heavy metals, and they all stay there. And you need to be very strong in breaking that biofilm. When I broke my biofilm, I hit probably 10 birds with one stone. Why? Because in that biofilm, instead of the metals going to my brain and blood and everything, I just released them through my poop. Powerful. That's why I started to feel so much better after I cleansed parasites. But I had to go through the liver first. Because if you release parasites will release toxins in the body, like gases. Okay, they even mimic the estrogen in the body, and they mimic like a lot of things in the body, like the what's the mold thing? They mimic that, the mold and everything. So the idea here is to make sure that the liver is clean as much as you can. Maybe it's not going to be clean like 100%, but you want to make sure that you make a lot of room in the liver. So when you kill the parasites, they release toxins. Of course, we use binders. In my program, I talk about binders. But when you kill the parasites, and if they release toxins, make sure that the liver is clean. It makes sense. I don't understand why. Actually, some doctors, they start talking about that liver first. Very important, okay? Okay, right. Next question. Guys, by the way, my detox program, it's guided. Starts on November 10. Make sure that you sign up. I'm going to put a link under this one. But also, Detox 50 is the promo code. It's going to expire midnight on Sunday. Detox 50. Okay, next question. She thinks so she's allergic. So I hope that I answer your question, Dawn. Zeolite, it's a great binder. Activated charcoal, as I mentioned, it's a great binder, but if you're toxic, activated charcoal can constipate people. It constipates at the beginning. You have to use some magnesium with that. Important. Also, chlorella, it's a great binder. Apple pectin, it's a great binder. Cilantro, it's a great binder, okay? So I hope I remember. Sprouts is health food store. Oh, yes. Oh, somebody asked about Sprouts. Oh, Constantine, it's a health food store. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, if you don't have any more questions, this is what I want to mention. Liver first, parasites next, okay? Liver first, parasites next. Remember that. I'm going to post a video with how to make your tinctures on the new moon. Just make sure that you gather your herbs and your alcohol and start making the tinctures. Important. November 13th, it's a new moon. All right, guys, if you don't have any more questions, then I'm going to wrap it up and I'm calling the day. So blessings to you and cheers to your health, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, stay healthy, okay? Keep doing the work. It's very important, because if you do the work, the entire planet changes. All right, have a good one.